Jacob Bryant. I go by The Rascal. I'm a vocalist of Lethal Injection, one of two. And we've been around for about 3.5 years. We do rap metal, crossover, new metal, West Coast metal. So, inspired by Linkin Park. Last year, we did our first ever fundraiser, Chester Bennington tribute show. And we donated $5,100 to 320 Changes Direction, which is to Linda Bennington, Chester's wife's nonprofit. And I did not know Chester, unfortunately. I only got to see him live once. Definitely a hero of mine, icon, you know, somebody I really looked up to. Definitely enjoyed every aspect of his musical career. And, you know, so mental health is a very real thing. It's everywhere. You know, it's not just the United States, it's a worldwide thing. So there's nothing better than being able to support a cause and raise money that's actually going to help and benefit others that suffer from the same disease that Chester did. So we did the 2 shows last year. Like I said, we raised $5,100 and we donated that to 320. This year, we're keeping it local. Chester Bennington was also from Arizona, which we are from Arizona as well. So we are donating 100% of the proceeds to NAMI, which is a nonprofit for mental health. And we've also done, on Chester's birthday, we did a free show to the public. Friends and family of Chester. Chester's son, Draven, was there. His ex-wife, Samantha, was there. His father, his mother, his sister, Toby, a lot of his friends, members from Grey Days. And we put on an amazing show and just want to give back, you know. I've never tried to make a dime off of Chester's passing, nor would I ever. And it's just a shame, man. So we're just blessed to be in the position we're in, where we have a big fan base that we can utilize. And a lot of people still, you know, love Chester. They always will. And we get to put on these amazing tribute shows to raise money to prevent, hopefully, more suicides. So we actually became an official band January 8th, 2016. That was our very first show. We did at the Rialto Theater. How we came about is I put a post on Facebook asking who the public would like to see me work with on a song or collab with. And Jonathan Russell's name got tagged by a couple people, so I reached out to Jonathan. He did not get back to me. So about 3 months later, I reached out to him again, and he apologized, said he didn't see the message. So we agreed to do one song. We drove up to Phoenix and recorded with Matt Good. We did our very first single called Strength Through Struggle. And the magic was there, man. The chemistry was there. We just had something special, and we wanted to do more together. We didn't want to just keep it as one song. So Jonathan's like, we need a name. I said, I just so happen to have a name I'd like to use. You know, it's a name that I've had since 2003. And he said, what's the name? I said, Lethal Injection. And he agreed to use the name, and we went back to Matt Goods and we started recording more music, and he was producing it, and then we built the band around us. And we did our first show January 8th of 2016 at the Rialto Theater. We headlined and we did over 600 pre-sale, our very first show ever. So I know you said to mention a few of my highlights. That's definitely one of my highlights. You know, it's not every day that a band in your own market who's just starting can pull over 600 people. You know, to some people, you know, that doesn't seem like a huge crowd, but I would say it's quite an accomplishment, especially at you know, very known venue like the Rialto Theater. I would say another highlight was what I told you, performing in front of one of my icons, family members, friends, and being appreciated and being respected and being asked to play as the headliner in his memory was probably the most epic memory for me in my entire music career, to be honest. I was 16 years old and all of my friends were rapping. And one day they all went out and I sat at the apartment and I just started writing lyrics. And it's funny too, because I'm Irish and German, but I was raised in the ghetto. You know what I mean? I was raised with Hispanics. So half of my very first rap was written in Spanish. So they came back and I was like, yo, I got this rap. They're like, yeah, sure you do, bro. And I'm like, let me spit it for you. And I did. And they're like, man, you're actually really good. So, you know, I dabbled in it a little bit. And, you know, then life happens. I got married, started having kids. And I pretty much left music altogether. And then I decided that I wanted to do it professionally, and I started, recording my first album in the studio, and things went really well, man. My career really took off. I was, next thing you know, within months, I was performing in front of 10,000 people with Snoop Dogg. I was doing shows with Ludacris, Too Short, Ja Rule, everybody at their peak, and started going on tours, and had a really good independent career. But I grew up listening to all different genres: the Beatles, Metallica, Tupac, NWA. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. So I love all types of music, and I always, even before the Linkin Parks and the Limp Bizkit, I always wanted to incorporate rap with rock or rap with metal. And then when it became popular, I was like, man, I don't want to be a sellout. Like, I don't want to be doing what everybody else is doing. So I stayed in my lane. I just continued to rap. But in the back of my mind, I always wanted to do more, because I felt with rap beats, you're just limited. You know what I'm saying? It loops, and it plays over and over and over, and there's really not a lot of variation. Then when you're recording, they want to just copy and paste your hook, and I just felt like it was generic, to be honest. But I was good at it, and I enjoyed what I did. But I never had what I really wanted. So when we agreed to do Lethal Injection and actually make it a real project, it was probably, I can't explain how excited I was, because I was finally doing what I felt there was no limitations for me as a vocalist. I could rap, I could sing, I could scream, I could do whatever the hell I wanted, and I wouldn't be judged for it, because it's the perfect genre and a perfect fit for my gritty voice as well. I had a very rough upbringing, moved around a lot, went to a different school every year of elementary, parents divorced. It was a pretty bad life. And once things started getting stable, and then I had to move away again. Now I'm starting high school at a brand new location, don't know anybody, and I ended up dropping out and moving out on my own at age 16. So I got into gangs, I was running the streets, doing a lot of bad stuff, got arrested. And the reason I'm even telling you this is I didn't have depression back then. That was just life to me. That was the norm. I just fought through it. I just felt it was normal. I didn't feel like I had bad hand dealt to me. I just thought that's the way life was, to be honest with you. And as I got older and I started becoming successful and really enjoying life, I never really knew that depression had existed, but it had been there all along. I just had been able to overcome it. It really affected me when my dad passed away. My dad died July 1st, 2009, and I went into a 2-year tailspin. I couldn't pull myself out. I was drinking a lot. I was gambling a lot. I was cutting people out of my life. I was being extremely selfish, extremely suicidal at times, and I blamed it on that. But that wasn't the case. That's just what triggered it for me. And basically, it continued to get worse to where the point now, I'm on anxiety medicine. I have a shrink, and now I'm getting worried, because now they actually are recommending that I get on depression medication as well. And I'm anti-drug. I've never done a drug in my life. Drugs scare me, medication scares me, but if it's gonna prolong my life and keep me out of the dark places that I've been pushed into, unfortunately, then that might be a direction I have to go. So. Absolutely, it definitely got worse, and the smallest thing could trigger me, man. You know what I mean? Honestly, it could be something silly, and I go into a dark place, and I don't really know. It comes and it goes, man. I can't predict when it's gonna come. I can't predict when it's gonna go. I just have to fight through it and do my best, to be honest. I definitely kept it to myself. I still keep it to myself for the most part. It's not something that I, you know, throw out there. And the reason I don't is because I don't want people to look at me different, or I don't want pity. I don't want people to feel bad for me, because I do have a good life. You know what I mean? I'm a father of 4. I'm a business owner. I'm successful. I'm a convicted felon with no high school diploma, and I'm a successful man. So I have a lot to be thankful and grateful for. But everybody started noticing changes in me. I was getting more distant from the world. I was disconnecting myself. I was becoming more of a recluse, more of an introvert, um, and everybody was worried about me. They're like, "Are you all right, man?" You know, everybody was extremely supportive, and people still are. You know, they worry about me. You know, people check up on me. You know, I talk to my family very often, my children, and people have embraced it. And you know, like I said, I mean, a lot of times I'm good. I'm not gonna lie. You know, a lot of times I'm great, and nothing bothers me. But you know, there's a lot of things that trigger me and bother me, and I just pretty much cut the world off for as long as I need to. Like I was talking, you know, to a buddy of mine, and I literally put my phone up for hours at a time. I don't want to look at my phone. I don't want to see who's calling me, texting me, social media. It all gives me anxiety, and I just want to live a normal life. I want to be able to spend time with my kids and be a productive human. You know what I mean? Man, I don't know if I want to answer that. Very deep, nasty, dark thoughts, visions that I never thought I would see. I went through about a 4 year span where when I would sleep, I'd go to sleep. True story. I would wake up within typically about an hour of being completely unconscious asleep, and I would wake up and grasp for air. It was like something was sucking my soul out of me, and I'd grab my chest. I thought I was having a heart attack. This went on almost every single night. So the I mean, dark places you can only imagine what I've thought. I mean, I obviously I've never hurt myself. I've never cut myself. I've never hurt others. Going through what I go through, I just I pretty much lock myself in the room, man, and I try to just gather my thoughts. But I've thought of the worst things possible. I've seen visions of things that could be done, and just a bad place to be, man. It's a really bad place to be. I feel I'm doing better, even though I'm going through a lot of rough stuff in my life currently. You know, basically the thing that helps me the most is my children, keeping myself busy doing positive things, and trying to stay sober. Because the more you drink, the more you think. It's a proven fact. And when you're having bad thoughts and you're in a bad place, alcohol just intensifies it 1,000 times. The best advice I can give anybody that's going through depression, having suicidal thoughts, it's very hard to reach out, but you have to do it. You know, if you stay alone and you bottle everything up, eventually your demons are going to take their toll. So the best advice I can give is to reach out for help. Secondly, keep yourself busy. Surround yourself with positive people. You know, find something that keeps your mind active and positive and puts a smile on your face. The more good people that are around you, the more they lift you up. The more bad people you have around you, the more they bring you down. And the more alone you are, the more you drown in your thoughts. Reach out. You know, there's plenty of people out there willing to help you, and it's a horrible disease, and it's not easy for anyone that suffers from it, but there is light at the end of the tunnel if you see it. Just want to say thank you for everybody tuning in. Thank you for the interview. You know, the support's been amazing in everything I do in life, and I just can't thank everybody enough, and let's just keep pushing through this.